Hello, this is my tutorial on how to build a character for Star Wars 5e. So first you want to go on sw5e.com, go to the drop-down menu under My Content, select Characters, and this will bring you to a screen that says Go to Character Builder, which you will do. And I believe there are about 150 species here to pick from, so let's just say that I pick a Nemoidian, because I'm evil. I will have to note that my Charisma increases by 1 and Wisdom increases by 2. That will become important later. So I will just say that we're going to do a Nemoidian Sith. So I will choose one of the three different Force-using classes. You can either pick Sentinel, you can pick Guardian, or you can pick Consular. The difference is Consular is more focused towards the Force, Guardian is more focused towards melee, and then Sentinel is a mix of both. So I'll go Sentinel. I'll add class. Let's say I wanted to have a 12th level character. So I would add these 12 levels. And before you do anything here, you want to pick the stats. I like to use point buy, so I'll do this. And so you will want for Sith Charisma, for example, probably a high-ish Constitution. Dexterity, probably no strength over Dexterity, since this guy's going to be more martial-based. Intelligence, probably want to have that up there. A lack of points here, so let's remove some. Get Dexterity as a negative, why not? And then Wisdom as a +0. And since I am a Nemoidian actually, I will want to do that because I actually get +1 Wisdom, leaving that as a 10, and then I'll be able to have a nice Dexterity because Dexterity is very useful. Charisma increases by 2 within Nemoidian, so I would be at 17 here, not 15. And because I want to get Charisma up, since I am a Sith, I would want to improve Charisma, getting here up to a 19. And then let's say I'm going to choose a feat because feats can increase your ability scores. So I will pick Charmer, increase your Charisma score by 1 in addition to some other effects. And then I still have something left over. I might want to go for a higher Constitution for more hit points since this guy will probably be in melee. So I'll do ability score improvement, Constitution to get it up by 2, so my hit points will increase. Force powers. This is where it gets a little bit long because you will have to read each of the descriptions if you don't know what their equivalent is in normal D&D 5e. So I will take, let's say this guy uses a lot of Force Lightning. I'll give him Shock, give him Sustained Lightning. Nothing lightning based there. Force Lightning, Shocking Shield, and I believe there's an option at 6th level. No, I would not get 6th level since I am not very focused on the Force, since I am a mix of melee and using the Force. So I will only get up to 5th level. There's nothing lightning based here. Then I'll be able to choose my at-will powers, also known as cantrips in 5e. I'll pick maybe Spirit Blade, and I'll just keep going until I pick all my powers, and I'll be right back. Keep in mind that some powers have prerequisites of other powers. Powers is another word for spells in 5e, Star Wars 5e. So yeah. Okay, so I've just picked my spells. I don't need to increase any of this. I will keep in mind that I need to increase my charisma by 1 because sometimes you need to do things manually, which I will show you. This is done. Now description. Let's say this guy's name is Zuby Zimbop. And image URL, I'm not going to do that right now. Alignment, let's just say that he is lawful dark. And choose background, I would probably make him a Sith. And with background, you actually get to choose feats in Star Wars 5e, so I actually might adjust my ability scores based off of what feats I get. I might get Silver Tongued, which is going to increase my charisma by 1, so I can actually go back, decrease it by 1, get a few extra points to put into, say, I would say Wisdom. Negatives aren't good. And probably everything here is just going to turn out to be an odd number, which doesn't really matter, so let's just do Wisdom again. personality, traits, all of this stuff you can put in later when you've actually decided what your character is. I'm just making this guy on the fly. Equipment. This is where I'll need to start pulling up different classes, species, archetypes, backgrounds. You want to have all of these loaded on other tabs. So since I'm going on Sentinel, I want to see what Sentinel starting equipment here is. I will choose one martial vibro weapon or light weapon, which I am proficient with. So I'll pull up loot weapons, and I'll probably want armor too. So weapons, we want to get martial light weapon, because what Sith doesn't have a light weapon? And I'm going to sort it by damage because this guy's gonna want to be a damage dealer. And some of these have prerequisites like dexterity 13. Fortunately, this guy doesn't meet that. I could make him meet that by giving him some negatives. In fact, I think I actually might do that, get rid of a bunch of wisdom. So I'll mark down Claymore Saber. Yes, and ability scores. I'll make sure to get some extra points here, put it into dexterity. So next, I'm going to want to, right here, I'm going to want to choose a Dungeoneers or Explorers pack. So I'm going to go to the home page, and I'm going to search pack to see what each of these packs contains. What were my options? Dungeoneers or Explorers. So if I scroll up here, Explorers, pretty well rounded, but Dungeoneers is obviously suited towards somebody who wants to go into dungeons. I'll just say that I want to go inside of a dungeon. Engineer's pack. I could individually add each of these items, or I could just, for the sake of time, make it a custom item, which I'll do. And the cost was 320 credits. I'll put that down just in case I need to sell it or something. Next, demolitions, security kit, or slicers kit. I'm going to pick a demolitions kit because this guy's already pretty weird. Why not? I'll also be able to pick a combat suit and a physical shield. Equipped, sure. And a physical shield. Light physical shield, I think. I'll also equip that for extra AC, because this guy isn't very dexterous. He'll need better armor in the future, probably. I could pick starting credits instead of picking weapons and armor and stuff from the class. Like it'll say in your class you get X amount of starting credits if you don't want to get starting equipment. But since the Claymore Saber is 2100, I'm not able to afford this, so I'll just go for a worse AC starting off. Although since I'm starting at level 12, I could ask my DM if he's okay with me giving myself some extra money, since level 12 adventurers would probably have extra money. But whatever. Next we want to go into backgrounds. The Sith is probably going to give us some equipment. I'll get languages, copy of the Sith code, and most importantly, some credits. So I'll add in 150 credits, and that's all my equipment. I click character sheet, but this is not where we stop. 13 armor class is pretty bad. But anyways, you will see that my charisma is at 18. It shouldn't be like that since I have these 2 feats increasing it by 1. So I have to go in manually and put all that in. So I'll select charisma here and it'll give me a nice little menu where I can put my bonus in. So I'll put 2. And yeah, dexterity will be +1. 13, so I could pick up that Claymore Saber, which will allow me to do 3d4 plus 2 energy damage. And I have all my force powers here. So the next big thing here, besides custom features, which is a big task, is to add proficiencies that I would have gotten. So I know that I picked a demolitions kit. I don't have expertise in that, but I do have Nemoidian. And from Sith I get another language, so it's always nice to understand binary. And I'll get the background feature, Asylum by the Fearful. I would have all my backstory and height and all this stuff here. The nice thing about Star Wars 5e character sheet digitally is that you can click on stuff and just tweak it. So that's all the tweaking I need to do, I think. Yep. So I will add my custom features now, which is the big thing. So I'll need to go into archetypes, the same thing as a subclass in 5e, and I will want to sort by sentinel archetypes. So I'll get aggression, focus, shadows, force blade, communion, etherealness, synthesis, tenacity, witchcraft, or corsair. Just looking at all these names, aggression sounds flavorful, but etherealness actually sounds pretty cool. So I will need to add in all of these features individually. So aberrant resilience, I will learn a force power and blah 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 about that force power. I go into Zuby Zimbop. I add aberrant resilience. I'll just in here. No extra editing needed. And once I'm done with my subclass features, which I will cut to soon, I will need to add in class features, then any additional features that I want to put in. So yeah, I'll see you after that. Okay, so I'm done with all my subclass features from my archetype, so I can exit out of that. And since I'm done with Sith, actually no, I'm not done with Sith because I'll need to choose skills after this. I will want to X out of armor and weapons, and probably get in my actual class features, which are going to be more than the subclass features. So I'm going to need to add all of this in, besides force casting, of course, and ability score improvements and all that. So for example, I will get led by the force. I can add half my proficiency bonus rounded down to blah 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 thing. I will put in by the force. And I'll just add in, and I'll do that for the rest of my class features, and I'll see you after that. A quick note here, there are things like Sentinel Ideals, which you're going to get from your class, from any class actually, or at least most of them, which will let you choose different effects. And for example, Sentinel Ideals, here are all my Sentinel Ideals that I can pick from. I get 3 or so. Anyways, back to writing all these down. Another quick note where it says you gain a number of temporary force points equal to half your wisdom or charisma modifier, etc. Or similar things. You might want to just put is equal to half my wisdom or charisma modifier. So I can just put in, since I know that my charisma modifier is +5, I can just put 2. Another important lesson here is that I should have actually read my race before I did all of this because there is no language called Nemoidian, it's instead called Pack. And I also get the wealthy feature, which increases my amount of credits. So I need to keep that in mind when editing my character now. Okay, so I have just finished taking the long process of choosing all my ideals. So I have ideal of the tranquil, ideal of the fighter, which gave me an option to pick a fighting style. So I picked the form fighting style, which gives me the Juyo, Diemso, and Nieman lightsaber forms, which are detailed here. If you just look up form, you'll be able to see this. So I get Juyo, etc. So I'll be able to use these abilities here. I also chose ideal of the Titan, Since I am a rich Nemoidian and I get extra starting gold, I will be able to get the medium armor that this gives me proficiency in, which is very helpful because I'm not dexterous at all and I have 13 AC as a melee character, which is terrible, especially at 12th level. And I also got Ideal of the Hunter. Since I already have dark vision, just increasing my range to 30 feet, so I'll be able to have 90 feet of dark vision, which is excellent. And all these give me the ability to manifest them as a brief surge energy in combat. So I'll add that. Then I will add the rest of the Sentinel features, which is just extra attack and battle readiness. So yeah, on to the next thing. Okay, so I just added the rest of my features. I have all of these. Now I need to choose skills. So if we go into Sentinel, it gives me the option of 3 from Acrobatics, Animal Handling, Insight, Intimidation, Perception, Persuasion, Piloting, Stealth, and Technology. I also have Sith, which gives me some abilities. And I don't want anything to overlap, so I will just choose from here, probably Lore and Intimidation. And from Sentinel, I might take, let's say this guy's good at piloting. I'll also take Acrobatics and Perception. So what I have to do is I have to go in here and pick if I'm proficient or expert in each of these skills. So I'll have Acrobatics, and because I'm a Nemoidian, I just instantly get Deception and Persuasion. The thing is, I have these 2 feats that say if I have proficiency in Deception or Persuasion, I get expertise in it, which is a total accident, but that means that I will be able to get expertise and expertise, which is very good to have expertise in 2 skills, especially if you don't need to pick them from your class or background, you just get them from your race. That's really good. So Acrobatics, I also wanted Insight. Actually, no, I wanted Perception. I also wanted Intimidation. I wanted Lore. I also wanted Technology. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 1 more. I think I took Investigation because this guy is semi-smart. So that's about that. Now I'm going to reopen armor. I'm going to look at medium armor and see anything that's under 16,000, which is probably going to be all of it. Yep. So the best AC that I'm going to get here is composite armor or plastoid composite, which is going to give me rigid, reinforced, and bulky traits. So you can just hover over them and click them to see what they are, which is very nice. So this will cost more, and it will give me the rigid property, which is bad, but it'll also give me reinforced, which will make my jumps better. So since I'm rich, I think I'm going to pick plastoid composite for 4,500, and I'm going to add it to equipment. Where is equipment? It is here. Yep, so I'll get rid of combat suit. And I will add plastoid composite. I will equip it. Now my AC has been turned up to 17. And then I should add the credits that I get here. So I should add that, I believe. I will have, oh no. Actually, I should have 10,000 more. It is a lot of money. I don't know if I read that correctly, but let's just say I did because that's pretty nice. So right here I have all my force powers. The important thing about force powers is you don't have spell slots. Instead you have force points. So when you cast a spell or a power, it will actually get rid of an amount that's equal to the level of the power plus 1. So say I casted a 5th level power, it will take away 6 points. It's pretty easy to keep track of. And then here's my save DC, attack modifier, power level. All of my basic stuff here. I can switch between the tabs, see my money, all of this, and tweak whatever I need to tweak. And that should be all that I need to do for Zuby Zimbop. I think it is. This guy only has 87 hit points at level 12, which is not the greatest, especially for a martial guy. But just a rundown of this character. He will make 2 attacks each turn with his Claymore Saber, and that will do 3d4 plus 2 energy. So let's say that I rolled both attacks and I did 64 plus 4. I would do 18 damage that round, which isn't the greatest, but if I add, I believe it was a Force Empowered Self ability. Yes, I could add Double Strike to add extra damage. I could also look at my ideals. I believe, yes, this one, no, it was, I'm not exactly sure what it's from, but I do remember somewhere it said that I could, oh, of course, it was my lightsaber form. So as a bonus action, I will be able to have this ability until the end of my next turn. I can use Wisdom or Charisma instead of Strength or Dexterity for attack rolls, which will increase that damage from 18 to somewhere over 20. It should be 24, which isn't the greatest, but then you see Battle Readiness here. It'll allow me to use my action to cast a Force Power and then make a melee weapon attack as a bonus action. So it's not the greatest for damage still, but then I could get, say, Improved Force Scream and do 10d6 damage and then do my attack, which will really increase my DPS and my overall fun playing this guy. So that's about it. That's a rundown of what I've just made. I did realize that my Led by the Force ability will allow me to add 2 to all of these that I'm not proficient in. So everything here will get a +2, including all my -1s, which is great. It will not apply to my saving throws though. So that is this character done. Once you're done with a character, you will want to click save and save their file or their character text. I don't think I'm going to save this guy, as I just made him out of the blue for this video, so I would just maybe go to home and then reload the page to go to my content and characters. He should not be loaded, so that's why there's this load character button where you put in the file or you paste the text in. Say that I took one of the characters that I actually have made and care about, this guy Dagon, a Rhodian operative. Then I can just load that up. All my custom features here, all my feats, all my abilities, stealth +13, all of that. No tech or force casting. But yeah, that's basically a rundown of how to do Star Wars 5e characters, and yeah.